Camppatton Family Compound, teaching our families to leave something good behind. Presents our channel members. Garden State Gardener, Gray Man Prepping, Jay, RC, Alicia, Idaho Garden Girl, Klingon Princess, Corsair Trainers, Homesteading Where You Are. Join now. It's time to be a camper. This ain't Camp Crystal Lake. We have fun here. Hey everybody, welcome to Camppatton Family Compound. This is the Monday night Fireside chat, and tonight's topic is, do you have a power failure plan? All right. Now, before everybody freaks out, yes, I've done several of these over on Gray Man Prepping, but I want to address homesteaders of tonight's issue, because many of you know that several homesteaders have lost a lot of their food and stuff when the power was out for their area for a week. Nana lost several freezers worth of food. Someone else lost 7 chest freezers because she thought her little itty bitty Jackery was going to be able to power them all. Problem was that she didn't realize that that particular model could only charge at a certain speed, couldn't run more than 1 freezer at a time. And she thought, but she kind of realized that. She figured she just moved from one to another, let them run for a little bit, get it cold, and go back again, and that it would keep, that the solar panel she had for it would keep it charged. Didn't work. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. But before we get into that, let's jump over here to the comments and see who all's here. All right, so first one is Jeremy, Tennessee Tactical 1, then Gear Grinding, then CR from north of the border, Aiden Air from across the pond, and scroll on down here, who's this next one coming in? It was Uncle Al, Die Bullfrog 79. Got Jay in here, a channel member. And everyone's talking to each other. Homestead Where You Are, another channel member. And everyone's chit-chatting. Garden State Gardener came in here, our first channel member. And Joe won the grand prize on the 2,500 subscriber giveaway as well. All right, Homestead Aquarius is in here. Scrolling down, trying to keep up. You guys are just chatting up a storm here. Kaylin Strain's in here. Mary Beth Smith. Alicia's here, another channel member. And it just jumped on me. WD Glock and Roll. How you doing, Don? Did I say Kaylin Strain? Kaylin Strain's here. Gail Southern Living. Hey, how's it going? And I think I caught everybody. The chat that was jumping on me, so if I missed somebody, I apologize. Welcome. And anyone who's not making comments, just lurking, welcome as well. Hope you pick up something and learn something. And so, all right. I put out the, for those that know who you are, at the very beginning, I dropped the link in there for you if any of you guys want to come on up. Or gals. I'm not sure if anybody else is going to be coming on up here. I sent it out to a few people. I know Reed is very busy. And I finally figured out why I couldn't find Reed's channel, Manifestations of Imagination. He changed the name. It's now read, R-E-E-D space I-N, capital I, capital N. So haven't found out why he changed that. Okay, I did say Kaylin. Okay, very good. All right, so yeah, so that's his channel. You want to know more about off-grid power and stuff? Read's the guy to see. I mean, the guy's even building his own, taking a bunch of these little small iron lithium cells, and he's making a big battery bank from it. Okay, Gail, you're here from Garden State Gardener. Cool. All righty. Everybody, it's hot, so drink something. This is bug juice from Scout Camp. It's not really bug juice, but that's what the Scouts call it. It comes in either orange color, grape color, yellow color, or red color. Okay. Taking it to if you're set up so you can live without any electricity, suppose that power failures would be irrelevant. But how many people would give up the things to maintain that life? Jay, guess what? It's not that much giving up to do that, and I'm going to be talking about that later on. A friend of mine, about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 12 blocks away, Ben Gilmore can run his entire house off of his solar system, and into at 220 as well. All righty. All right. All right. Let's see. Anybody I'm missing here? I guess Tennessee Tactical came back a week. It came back in again, and he says, where is it here? Power is his weakest link. But that can be corrected, and we're going to be talking about that. But first, let's get over here to, boom. So, power failure plan. Well, before I jump into the plan, I want to talk about, I found this online, and I had to make some corrections to it. 10 common causes of power outages. Number 1, severe weather, natural disasters. I think we all figured out hurricanes, tornadoes, ice storms. Those are the things that a lot of us think about as taking out power lines. Windstorms, and that's what happened to Nana. I guess they had all that the storms and stuff, and the power lines got taken down. Okay, so motor vehicle accidents. Yeah, you know, the guy that's driving too fast or after he's had too much to drink, and he drives into a power pole. Equipment failure, just power equipment failing, transformers, relays, whatever. Trees falling on power lines. Wildlife interference. Oh, squirrel. Oh, that one just got fried. Oh, bird made a nest on a power line, got fried. All right, right now, high energy demand. People not thinking, and those that are thinking, trying to cut back by those that don't thinking that they're entitled. I can turn on my AC as high as I want, and it's good. They say we can charge our electric cars and run our AC and everything else, and get a bunch of those, and all of a sudden the whole area goes down. Okay, power line damage from construction work. That happens multiple ways. If they have buried lines, I've seen a few buried lines get yanked out by a backhoe, actually by an excavator, a little bit bigger. I've seen trenching machines trench through a joint trench where the phone, the water, the gas, the power, everything, and just cut everything down. And so construction work can take out power systems. Now the next here is out of order, and I've corrected it. So number 8 is planned power outages, because that happens more than damage from the public and more than cyber attacks. So planned power outages where they're, okay, we're going to be working on our system, we're shutting it down, or, oh, usage is high, so we're going to do rotating brownouts or blackouts, and so it's kind of a planned thing. And That happens a lot more than damage from the public. And damage from the public, what happens there is you get these teenagers thinking, hey, let's go over to the substation and shoot at the transformers. Watch it spark. Yeah, or some other idiots out there drinking too much. Oh, I'm gonna pop one off over there. Yeah, so the other damage from the public, more intentional than a car accident, taking out part of the infrastructure there. Then cyber attacks is the least likely cause of the top 10 common things. So, all right, so let's get into. So the question tonight is, do you? Okay, CB just came in. Hey, Hugo Homestead. Do you have a power failure plan? And so, what am I talking about for a power failure plan? All right. What do you do? What do you have in mind? What are you going to do when the power goes out? Now, a lot of people say, "Oh, I got flashlights, I got candles, I got oil lamps." Cool. You have a way to stay, to keep some light on. The next question is, what if it's more than a couple hours? What's your plan then? What are you going to do about your refrigerator, your chest freezers? All right. Now, here something comes in a little bit more important. If you have livestock, animals and stuff. Actually, let me wait a second before I say that, because that may be coming up here. All right. So you have an idea, but have you written down steps to take? Have you written down, if this happens, and I froze, if this happens, this is what I'm going to do. All right. And, if I can get hold of the power company and find out how long it's going to be, what's my next step based on what they tell me? So, having a written a plan helps out the entire family, because what if you're not home and just the kids are? Preteens, teenagers, adult kids living at home. So, do they know what to do if the power goes out? Do they know? No, like, we got a generator, so we're gonna make sure it starts, then turn it back off, and wait a couple hours, and then turn it on and plug the refrigerators and freezers into it. Make sure they cool down again, and then turn it off. Do they know what to do? All right. What was it? Jeremy, everybody needs to write it down, not just you. And CR has a great point. Do you have a plan if it happens while you're away from home? Okay, I got a question here. Gil, do you think the outage we just had here in Canada with Rogers was a cyber attack? I really think it's likely. Is Rogers not knowing Canada, is Rogers a power company, or, a little clarification there, please, Alicia. Hey, Suburban Hillbilly, how's it going? Now, I do have I got a notification here. I haven't had a chance to watch it because it just came in a little while ago. And it's from Van City Prepper. And the title of her video, which just came out a couple hours ago, is Massive Canadian Wi-Fi and Cell Service Outage. So I'm not sure what all of that was, if that was just this Wi-Fi and cell service, or whether that was more. Don't know. Haven't had a chance to check it out. Oh, Rogers is the internet phone company. Okay, so that was what Van City was talking about. believe it or not, sometimes those big ones is somebody doing something they weren't supposed to be doing, who thought they knew what they were doing at the company there. Oh, I'll just reroute this, do this. I was like, yeah, that's happened a couple times down here, especially in California. You get someone in there thinking, oh, I can just do this, this, and this, and they don't follow the book of procedures. Yeah. So, all right. Don says the longest they lost power for was 11 days for a forest fire. And Don, wasn't that one where you made the videos where you were going back in and watering animals, not just yours, but the neighbors as well, animals as well, going to different neighbors? Okay, hang on. Okay, this topic came up. Actually, this has been on my list here for about 2 months. I have my topics out that far. While I was shopping to stock up Saturday, we had a lightning strike, fried the motor on the air conditioner and furnace blower. Ouch. Yeah. Yeah. Lightning strikes is one of those natural disaster ones. They're one of the number one reasons for power outages. Yeah. All righty. Alicia says the longest they were out was 2 weeks from a hurricane. Now, from personal experience, the longest time we've had power out was it was about 24 hours. But we had generators and stuff, and we were ready to go a lot longer, but fortunately not. But anyways, let's get back to the plan. Do you have a written plan? Writing something down for your family so that if you're not around and it happens, they know, oh, Dad's not here. What are we going to do? Or Mom's not here. She knows what to do. And they can go, wait a minute. Mom or Dad has a book over here for emergency responses. So they go grab it. Power outage. Wait a minute. They grab their flashlight. They go over to the book and they read what to do in a power outage. On here. So what are your options? For a power outage, that you have several options. Some are noisy, some are short, some are long. So we're going to go in here and work on look at a few things here to find out what your options are. Okay, where is it? There's a button. Okay. And part of the stuff in your options you have to figure out is what depends on power to live. And this can cover a wide range, but I'm thinking life that depends on the power. Do you have chicks in an incubator that are going? Is it winter time and do you have heat lamps out there for the chickens, for the hogs, for whatever, to keep them warm so they don't freeze to death? That's something to consider. So you got to think about what you need to have power for that's going to die immediately, because that thing moves to the top of the list of things to provide power for. Yeah, Aiden, that's about the average in California, 6 to 7 hours. All right. Let's just put, solar lamps, those little ones. Yeah, those are great things that you can provide light that you can put out in the daytime, get them charged up, bring them back in for nighttime use. And who was it? I'm having a brain fart here. A senior moment. Oh, it was old school prepper. Martha was talking about using some of the newer ones have the battery sizes are actually AA or AAA batteries in those little solar lights. So if you have other rechargeable batteries, you can swap them out. In about 2-3 hours or so, 4 hours, the battery's charged up. Well, then you can swap it out, get another one, and charge up other batteries for your other flashlights. All right, so figuring out what needs power to live right now is at the top of your list. Then comes what did I say, Al? I thought I said rechargeable. Anyways, so what comes to mind next is all right, that was it. All right, so other things to go on here. Let me make myself big and drop that down, get that out of the way so I can get ready for the next option here. Bingo. So one of the things that you need to do is figure out what needs the power the most, or who, whether it's the cows, whether it's the chickens, whether it's the donkeys, whatever it is, what needs power the most. And I just saw something perfect right here. I didn't want to go there. I didn't want to go there and poke on anybody, but Summer has a perfect thing. You know, her mother's has one of those has an oxygen generator and needs to have oxygen to provide, or have an oxygen system needs power to run. So there's that there, puts that right at the top of the list, above the chest freezers, above the refrigerator. That becomes your number one item. And so one of the things to figure on is you need to figure out not only who, but how much power they need. I've talked about this before. I'm going to show a screen here up again. You get some now. This is off of Amazon. I put in the kilowatt meter, and for some reason, it's pulling up some of the others that are. Oh, these are all sponsored. That's why they're ahead of the kilowatt meter. These are different ones that are sponsored, and the prices are dropping on. But here's the kilowatt meter right here. This one right here. Hang on, let me slide out a picture for a second. There we go, and change the setting here. So here's my kilowatt meter, the exact same one there. And not only do I have that one, Read in, formerly Manifestations of Imagination, also has that one, and the exact same model and everything. Ben Gilmore at poweredportablesolar.com and Grayman Minuteman Prep here on YouTube also has the exact same one. And we didn't clue each other in onto it. We did our own research. All three of us came up with that particular model. Now, right now, that particular model, which is normally $40, is now $28, $35. So, but what's neat about this is, all right, you plug it in. Let me see if I can bring back the other way here. All right, you plug this baby in to the wall. Then you plug your appliance into it, and it has different, if I can get to quick artifacting here, you got different things up here. You have volt, amperage, wattage, hertz, kilowatt hours. I can't remember the other ones, but the kilowatt hours also has an hour setting, so you can do things. So you can actually plug it in and set it to figure out how, run for all 24 hours, and you figure out how much power it draws all day long. That gives you a overall. Hey, Courtney's here. All right, and Katie's here. All righty. So you need to figure out what your power needs are, so you can figure out what you can do, figure out what your options are for it. And the kilowatt here, in my opinion, is one of the better ones. Of course, I've had mine for about 6 years now, so some of these other ones, they may come up with different things. Prices come down. Just, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's better because it's newer. We know the P3 kilowatt, I've been using it for years, and it's, rock solid. No, I am not sponsored by Kilowatt. It's just that it's a tool I like, I use, and I know it works. And Laura's here, Hedgehog's Homestead. All right, so let me go ahead and drop this in again here. Get it to work here. Okay, now one of the things also to look at is, all right, people talk, well, what do I need? What can I use? Well, above me here, you see my Goal Zero. Below me, you see my Kodiak. The Goal Zero is a 400 watt unit. The Kodiak is a 1500 watt unit. And what you can't see, let's see if I can do it. If I can get it, it's not going to do it. Behind the shared screen there, you can see that is my tri-fuel generator. Hey, Brett's in the house. Hey, Broussard Homestead. So once you use whatever type meter you want to use, whatever type meter you want to get, find out what your wattage use is. Once you have your wattage use, then you can figure out options of stuff to do. Now, like I mentioned before, and on several other live streams and stuff, your refrigerator does not run all the time. Your chest freezer does not run all the time. In fact, if you excuse me, if you you're able to put a timer on it and see when it turns on, when it turns off, you're going to see that your like a chest freezer runs for about 20 minutes and it's off for a couple hours. Your refrigerator runs for 20, 25 minutes. It's off for an hour or so, depending on how often you're opening and closing it. Because a refrigerator is upright and you open it, all that cold air rushes out and it's got to cool down again. Hang on while I get something to drink, everybody. Hydrate yourselves. Alrighty. Yeah. Reinforcing. Don't stand there with the door open trying to figure out what you want to eat. Before you open the refrigerator door, think to yourself, what do I got in there? Okay, I got this, that, and the other. Okay, I'm going to pull out the carton of eggs. I'm going to pull out the package of ham. And that's all I need right now. And so pull it out quick, close the door as fast as you can. Well, don't slam it so you damage it, but you know what I mean. That way you're not losing as much heat. Now, chest freezers, I love chest freezers because they retain the coldness. You open it up, the cold doesn't run out, it stays in there. Upright freezers, same problem. You open the door, all that cold air comes out, and that's why right now we have an upright freezer back in California. My wife has it unplugged, and she's consolidated everything into the chest freezers. Hey, Teresa, Stringfield Ridge Farm, how's it going? So one of the things to figure out then is, all right, so what do I need? Well, it depends where you're at. What is your availability of other power/fuel solutions? If you have natural gas where you're at, that's an option. Let me bring it up here. Everybody talks about the Generac generators. And, it runs on natural gas. It's a whole house thing. We've set it up there. Well, yes and no. The Generac generator can be a whole house if you get the one that has enough kilowatts for the whole house. This first one here, and first one here, 24 kilowatts, 6,300. Different company, 24 kilowatts, 6,300. 10 kilowatts, 3,700. 24 kilowatts, 6,800. 14 kilowatts, 4,700. This is a gasoline generator. It's an inverter generator, and it's a 3,300 watt one. These are all Generac. 26 kilowatts, 6,900. 22 kilowatts, 6,100. 2,400 for 63. 7.5 kilowatts. So it's a smaller unit for $2,000. And it goes on and on, different sizes. You get whole house ones, you got portable ones, and things like that. So let me bring you over here. So looking at some of these, like this 7,500 watt whole house generator, the 10,000 watt generator is not a whole house generator. They come usually with a transfer switch, and you can set it up for certain circuits off your main one. So you would set up, oh, we want to make sure that the circuit that the refrigerator is on is hooked up to it. We want to make sure that the circuit that the CPAP runs on at night is hooked up to it. Hey, God's Golden Acres, how's it going? So even with some of these generator units that run on natural gas, and some of them are dual fuel, natural gas or propane. And so you need to, look at what you actually need to power, what you need, and go from there. Now, one of the other questions I get is about military surplus generators, and that's what I Googled in here. And I've actually used some for construction. Some of these ones are 30 kilowatt generator, and underneath it, that black platform underneath of it is a fuel tank. All right, there's ones on trailer, and underneath of it is the fuel tank for it. Is the question still open? Okay, some of the questions that came back from some, dependability. Military surplus generators are overbuilt. They're made to be dependable and reliable in harsh conditions. They can run for more than 10,000 hours without requiring engine work. When work is needed, these machines are designed to be easily fixed. And the question is, what type of generators does the military use? Description: tactical electric power, provides standardized family of tactical energy sources for the Department of Defense, in accordance with DoD directive, blah, 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 standardized mobile electric power generation sources. So basically, they're set up with certain things. And if Tennessee Bushcrafter was in here, he could explain it to you. He is an electrician. I'm surprised he's not in here tonight. But Christy Betts is here. Hey, Christy. And Howie's here. Food Forest Permaculture. Now, also here looking, it says the best diesel generator of 2022, and it lists several different ones. It lists the Generac, a specific one. It lists the company. I always mispronounce it. ONAN, and those are used. They're Quiet series, and they're usually used put in RVs and travel trailers. Power Product Sigma has a 7,000 watt one. And there's a bunch of other ones here that you can look up for. All right. When it comes to generators, you want to make sure the generator you get meets your need. Now, what are the two? I'm going to give you guys a chance to write this in the side chat. The two biggest problems with generators, whether it's a gasoline generator or a diesel generator. What are the two biggest problems? Hey, Stuart, how's it going? That's okay. You can work all you want. So there are two major problems especially depending on certain events. Let me get some regular water here. That's the third problem, Uncle Al. Uncle Al said oil change. Stringfield Ridge is getting on it, but yeah. Oh, wrong one. Come on. Fuel and noise are the two problems. One, you run out of fuel, and two, it's the noise while it's running. Now, like the Cummins Onion or whatever, how you pronounce that one for RVs and trailers, that one's fairly quiet, and sound doesn't carry a long ways. And all right, carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide output from them. All right, hey, Granny Goose, Prairie Rider. All right, so with generators, your noise is one problem. Now, there are several cool videos out here on YouTube land where they have taken one of these little garden shed toolbox ones, short ones, insulated it, put a muffler on their generator, put air baffles and stuff and filters for bringing in, and they've quieted it down a lot. Where if you're walking down the street, you might hear something, but you can't quite figure out where it's coming from. But that leads to the big thing is fuel. If the natural gas supply is not impacted by whatever event is causing a power outage, and you're on natural gas for your generator, you're good to go. If it has been impacted, but you have a bunch of either the 20-pound or 30-pound or larger propane tanks, several of those, that can get you going a lot. That can get you going a lot farther as far as before you run out of fuel. Some of the big diesel military generators with their tank underneath of it can run nonstop from anywhere from 24 to 48 hours, depending on the size of the tank under it. Here comes the next point. If you have a generator, do not run it all the time. Because if you're just running to keep a few things powered that only need to be powered for a little bit of time, and you're running all the time, you're wasting fuel and you're adding wear and tear on that generator. If you have, all right, if all you're worried about is refrigerator, freezer, and a couple of other items that you need to run just a short time, you run it for a short time and you turn it off. Now, one of the other things to think about here is what I've talked about on several things. And when I'm talking about the, I hate saying these words, solar generator. They're not really a solar generator. They're a solar powered battery bank. And that's what they're. They're a portable power station, a battery bank with a built-in inverter. And they happen to froze, and they just happen to have one of the ways that you can charge them is with solar panels. Just about every single quote solar generator comes with a wall unit you can plug it in to keep it fully charged all the time. And with the size and the way prices have dropped on some of these, what you can do with size of some of these, you can actually have some of these power stations set up so that when you turn on your generator for a little while, it's charging it. And a lot of these will charge faster from the wall charger than it will from solar power, just the way it's built and can handle the voltage coming in. Now we got some other ones in the side chat. Uncle Al says steam powered. WD says hydroelectric. Well, if you're in the city, you ain't going to have either one of those. But if you're out on a homestead, you might have a creek flowing through that provides enough flow year round to provide you with hydroelectric power. And steam is problematic. But most people don't realize that steam engines spend a good deal of time being torn down, refitted, and put back together. I worked for the Niles Canyon Railroad in California, and our number one engine there was the Quincy number 2 steam engine. Every other year, We were taking it down for a couple months, pulling all the boiler tubes out, replacing the boiler tubes, redoing it, and getting it back in service. So yeah, there's a time, steam engines are high maintenance items, and if you don't know what you're doing with it, it can blow up really easy, as Uncle Al said there. All right. Hydroelectric has its own problems, but for most people, these are out of the realms of what they can do. You want to know about the solar generators, the portable power stations. My friend Ben, who lives about 10 blocks away, his YouTube channel is Minuteman Prep. And where is it here? Down here. Right down here, this video here has a link to a Google document, Excel spreadsheet, and he compares like 40 or 50 different of these generators, and they're different classifications of them. So I'm just going to hop in here real quick and show you what I'm talking about. So we go in here. I'm just going to pause it. I'm going to scroll down here, and right there, the first in the description is the link. So we're going to click on that. And he has a tab down at the bottom here for 6 different sizes of power stations / solar generators. He starts at the biggest and goes down to the smallest. But if you go to the smallest, and there's a bunch of these little ones. The EcoFlow Mini River. And things have shifted. Oh, he was in here working and things slid around. And it's not going to let me do it, move it. Yeah, you can download this and look at the different things. All right, the Yeti 500, that's 500 watt hours. The Jackery 300 watt hours. The Gold Zero Yeti 200, yeah. The Blue Yeti 50. All right, they all talked about their different wattages and stuff. And so the micro here is battery capacity is less than 500 watt hours. Solar input is less than 200 watts. As you can tell, the solar wattage cannot keep up with the inverter capacity of 500. So solar cannot keep up with how much power you're using on those. All right, and he goes through all the different ones. Now, the this is one of the ones he's got here. So double. All right, he has the double one. You scroll on down here. And so you're looking at $7,000. Let me double check. Let me jump over here. EcoPro. Yeah, that $7,000 is for both of them. All right. And they can each handle 2 extra batteries. And what do the batteries look like? Just like the same thing, only doesn't have the inverter in it. Let me go back here. And he actually did right here, ran his whole house off grid with both washers and dryers and everything else, and ran his 220 on it. And he talks about that. So, and he's got two different reviews on it here. So you want to find out information? He buys all this stuff himself, so he can give an honest review of it. Bye, Howie. See you later. So you want to know? You want a resource to find out about if you're planning on getting something like this. He will talk to you about all the different ones he's got, and everyone that's listed in this thing, he's run and tested. So, yeah, so that's one of the sources you can do there. Close that down. And So yeah, there's a lot of information that Ben puts out there just so that everyone can make informed decisions. He has for his RV travel trailer, which he took to scout camp. He has a Titan, one of the Titan units in it. He has 2100-watt panels on the roof, and he ran it all summer long at scout camp, and it was still fully charged when he left. And he includes running the AC in there. So you got to figure out what you need and what you can, how much you want to spend on it. Now I know Nana over at Two Family Homestead. I mean, I think they lost the everything in the refrigerator and 2 chest freezers. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, there's a lot of different things you can do to have power. Do you have to go full blown on that? No. Right now, I have I got the 2 the 2 power stations. The 4 that I have here in Idaho, the 400-watt one will handle my CPAP for a week. But I can also every day put a 100-watt solar panel on it and charge it right back up. My 1500 watt system, I can if I go work on the extension cords and set it up right, I can set it up with 600-watt panels feeding it, and I can keep the refrigerator and the 2. I only got 2 now. Yeah, I got 2 chest freezers going here now. 2 chest freezers cold indefinitely, but it takes work. I got to go around, unplug and plug and do them around. Okay, any recommendations for a Jackery under 1,000? Let me take a look here. And okay, so let's go down here to Feather Cap and see what prices are. Okay, so I'm going to bring this back up. All right, so under $1,000, let's see what the Jackeries are. I know he liked the Blue Eddy, but this is the Feather Cap. Oh, I got more over to the side here. Excuse me. Okay, no Jackeries listed there in the micro cap. The Jackery 300 is $300. Let's see what else, if he's any other Jackeries here. No. All right, let's go to the light cap and see what he has here. All right, the Jackery 1500 and the Jackery 1000. The 1000, the 1000 is $999, $1,000. All right, and so let's look at that one. All right, the battery capacity watt hours is 1,002 watt hours. Battery voltage is 22 volts. The draw capacity is 1,000 watt draw, which is the yellow here is okay. Battery's okay. Pure sine wave inverter. Inverter has a continuous output of 1,000. Inverter peak is 2,000 on the peak. No, it doesn't have the 220 phase. No. Life cycle, so that means you can cycle this thing from fully charged to fully dead 500 times, and that puts it down from 100% capacity to 80% capacity thereafter. Has the controller on it, solar input parameters. Now, if it's in the red, he doesn't like those things in the red. and maximum solar watt input is 180 watts input. Not a good input. You need to have more input for what it has. Maximum 5-hour power, 900 watts is the maximum 5-hour power production. So yeah, so there, like I said, there's good things, bad things. Expandable batteries, no. And that's one thing I like about my Kodiak. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Just show you real quick here. Let me take me back to this. On my Kodiak, you see those two screw ports there? I can put cables on there and hook it up to any 12-volt battery, and that can expand the power capacity of this. But that's no longer made. So now for the Jackery, the 1500 is a lot better. It has a better battery capacity. It's dark green here. Oh, sorry, I got to put it back over there. The Jackery 1500 has a better battery. Lifetime cycles still iffy, but how often are you going to kill it all the way dead 400 times? Warranty is 2 years on it. Also no expandable on the batteries, and it's $1,500. So yeah, so that's the Jackery. However, from what watching Ben's reviews and stuff, the Blue Eddy and the EcoFlow are way better than the Jackeries. And I think on one of the Jackeries he had, it burnt up on it. So let me check out the EcoFlow. And not the EcoFlow, the Blue Eddy. Blue Eddy's drawback is it has poor customer service. But Wendy at Hardknack Farms, I believe, did she have the Blue Eddy? No, she had the EcoFlow. And so the EcoFlow Delta 1300. The only thing bad about it is it doesn't have a 30 amp RV plug in it. All right, and the extended battery capacity, the expandable battery capacity, and it's $1,400 for a for the 1,300 watt unit. So, anyways, so yeah, you can. I'll put the link here. This is the link to that document. Let's see if it sticks. That's the link to the document that I was just showing, that Excel spreadsheet, so you guys can look at it yourselves. See you later, Lori. All right. So now, if you picked up over time, I've seen some people picking up these smaller ones, these 400 watt ones, 500 watt, ones. They get this one here really cheap. Oh, I get that one real cheap, and they got 3 or 4 of them. With having 3 or 4 of them, you can and you have a small inverter, even a small inverter generator, you can charge those all up fairly quickly and turn off your inverter generator. And inverter generators run quieter than normal generators. If I was to go and buy a system, I would probably get where is it? Is it showing it? I would probably get either the 0.0 Titan, and the only bad thing right now they're on back order, or the EcoFlow Delta Pro. Yeah, that's on that. Let's see here. Yeah, unfortunately, all of the Blue Eddies have uh, their their customer service sucks. But I mean, looking at this one here, I mean, it's just like the only drawback on that one is the weight and customer service. But yeah, so you have to look at it. Now. Let's look at something here. Okay, for the these two here, you're looking at about $4,000. You know. Now the Titan, you can buy stackable batteries, and you can add 4, 5, 6 more batteries on it, and it totally extends it incredibly. For the price of setting up one of those, hang on to your hats, folks. Yeah, EcoFlow has been recommended, and it is coming up there. It's still behind the Titan, but it's up there in what it can do. For the cost of one of these systems here, I can outdo it, and I have outdone it with a home built unit. Right now, I've got 20 6-volt deep cycle golf cart batteries set up in series and parallel. That's electrical wiring talk. So it puts out 12 volts. And these things are, hang on, let me look at it here. Look it up. Let me look it up really quick. I'll tell you exactly what it, batteries plus, because that's where I got them at here. Hang on here. 6-volt. I don't want that. Keeps on giving pop-ups to when I go there. Golf carts. All right. Come on. It's thinking. Anyway, so I've been getting my golf cart batteries at Batteries Plus, because they'll take any battery that I bring in as a for a core charge swap. All right. Sure, I'm looking at the right one here. Wow, price has gone up on these incredibly. Man, just over the last 3 months, the price has gone ridiculously high. Okay, so the batteries I have are the 235 amp hour batteries. All right, times 20. Sorry, my brain's not working. 235 times 20. That gives me 4,700 amp hours of power. So that is a lot of power. I have 2,100 watt solar panels, and then I have I got 24 15 watt panels as well, and I can put it all in, charging those. And I've ran, before I had that many golf cart batteries, when I had about half that, I could run a window AC unit off of just the 100 watt panels all day long and most of the night. And so yeah, and that's, this was 7 years ago I was doing this. So with if you have or know someone that has electrical knowledge, and you want to start out small and expand a system, doing it yourself is a great way of doing it. And that's what I'll read at Manifestation of Imagination is has people start out small and just expand on what they do and just keep expanding it. The neat thing is about doing a system like this, it's like you don't have to spend $3,000 all at once to get just the unit. Hang on, let me go pull this up here real quick here. All right. Oh, it's gone up in price. It's still under $100 for the rich solar 100 watt 12 volt monocrystalline solar panels. It's $93, well, $92.99, but $93. So you get 6 of those, so that's $600. You get 4 of the golf cart batteries. And I get back to that. And right now, the ones I was listening to are $180 each. So 4 times that. So clear. 4 times 180. That's $700 there. And then you get you spend about $800 on an inverter, $69 to $100 on a charge controller, another $100 on wiring, and you have a unit that'll outperform just about everything that was on the list of those portable ones. Yeah, it's not very portable, but if you're not worried about taking it anywhere, you set it up in your garage, you can handle most power outages. And if you're judicious in your use of power at night, you can go on indefinitely. And then say next month you buy another $92 on a solar panel. Well, that just increased your recharge capacity and your usage capacity. And the next month, I'm going to spend another $92 and get another panel. And after a couple months, it's like, I'm going to get myself two more 6-volt batteries so I can have another big 12-volt. And you just expand it and add to it that way. Good night, Alicia. All right. It depends on the golf cart batteries. Now, your car battery is 12 volt, and they're built a little bit differently. So I'm going to share this page here. So this is the one I got, the golf cart battery. All right. $179.99. $30 cord charge deposit. It originally, when I started getting mine, it was only $8. But I take in any old battery I find, and I don't have to spend that. All right. Hey, Carol, how's it going? No problem, Carol. I've been unsubbed from. I was unsubbed from Gear, and I had to go in there and figure out why I wasn't seeing any of his videos. All right, so you can get, depending on what you get and the size of them. These are pretty hefty ones here. $179. I can take it up from a different type one here, different brand. 329. 90 amp hour. Oh, this is acid glass matte. And so this is, this is maintenance free. Whereas this one, you have to check the fluids on it. 219, right? This is 255 amp hour. This one's 235. So 20 more amp hours for another $40. So, and so there's different ones you can get. 115 amp hours for $159. So you got to do your shopping around, figure out what you want to do. Now, whatever you start doing, you want to try to keep it the same. So if you want to start out, if you're going to start out small, this Duracell here, the 115, is probably a way to start out. And if you start out with that, that's an easy one to add every couple months to. And the The life cycles on these things are between 300 and 450 life cycles. And that's taking it all the way dead, charging it back up, taking it all the way dead, 300 times at least. All right. So, and you can probably shop around. You may be able to find some of these on sale cheaper elsewhere. But you figure out what you need and what you need to do it. Okay, good question. If you have the solar panel input to offset these other accessories, cool. I mean, plain as simple as that. It's having the solar power to offset it. Now, the other thing that I didn't mention on these on building it yourself, you can find out there at flea markets, garage sales and stuff, an old 50 amp car charger. The ones they used to have at the gas stations, the big ones, they wheel out to your car, clamp it on, turn it on. 5 minutes later, your battery's fully charged again. You have one of those, and you have a generator. If your solar panels aren't keeping up, you hook it up, you fire it up, you run your generator for about 5 minutes, or 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, and all your batteries are fully charged again, and you're ready to go. Because I know the truckers have microwaves in their trucks, and they got their things, because basically these guys are living out of their trucks and have a lot of neat stuff there. But the main thing I want you, I've given you a lot of information, but the main thing I want you to take away from this tonight is get a notebook. Start writing stuff down. What do you need? What's your wattage usage? All right, get yourself a kilowatt or one of the other ones. Find out how much. Okay, grade 1107. You change. He changed his name by adding different characters on there. Funny Gray. And because I was confused looking at it, and I didn't want to try to stop and look at it, but it wasn't until Caitlin said what you just said. Hi, Gray. Oh, that's what it is. Okay, nothing wrong with me. I'm just up here confused and dazed. But make a list of what your power needs are. How many watts each appliance uses. List all your stuff. Make a list. Don't use a small notebook. Get a big, school size notebook. Start writing stuff down. Find out all this information, then categorize it by most important to I really don't need that. Hey, Bob. Bob, that's until you get to over there to the Philippines, right? Then that plan gets replaced. That's the problem. Most car alternators are built just to handle the car. They're built to recharge the battery after you started it, because it's not a deep cycle battery. It gives a lot of oomph. Then you recharge it after 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever. It's not heavy duty. Now, some of your heavy duty trucks and stuff, especially when you're getting up to the 110 series and stuff, their alternators are twice as powerful as they really need to be, because construction guys get aftermarket inverters and attach them to their batteries and stuff and run power tools and stuff with it. And that's one of the things you got to look at. So yeah, figure out what you need. Is your best plan to go with a 1,000 watt, a 1,500 watt, a 2,000 watt power station setup? Or do you want to say, well, shoot, for the cost of that 2,000 watt power station, I can build my own that'll give me 6,000 watts of output. And that's thing you got to decide whether you're going to do it yourself or have a friend that knows how to do that help you with it. Because remember, all these units, these power stations, they're being sold for approximately double of the cost to produce it. That's just the way marketing is. You produce something, cost to produce it, you double that, and then from that, then you have other overhead and stuff that comes out of that as well. So, yeah, there's different ways of taking care of doing that. But you need to figure out what it is you want. Are you going to get a whole house generator like one of the Generacs, and then try putting a bunch of plants around and stuff to keep the noise down? Are you going to get a combination of both? A whole house, one of these whole house or almost whole house generators, and then every time you fire it up, you have your small power stations, your Jackery, your Blue Eddy, your EcoFlow, whatever it is, and you have them ready and you plug them in. So while you fire it up to get your refrigerators and everything all down to temperature and everything, you're charging these things back up, and then you turn off the generator and they're good to go for the nighttime. So, yeah, I can imagine, Christy. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why when I go to scout camp or any type of camping, I take both the Kodiak and my 400 watt Goal Zero, and depending where we're going, I may take the 150 watt Goal Zero I'll have as well, and a couple of solar panels. That way I can charge stuff, and then if one goes out, I still have another one to work off of. The prepper saying, one is none, two is one, because one is always going to break. Yeah, so Kaylin, probably your best bet, if your balcony has sunlight for part of the time, you get a couple 100-watt panels, you make a bracket so you can just hang them on the edge of your balcony there, and you get one of these other one of these 1,500 or 2,000 watt power stations, and you invest and do it that way. Yeah. Bob, read what used to be Manifestations of Imagination, and he now changed his channel to Read IN, capital letters. And he's gone through all the different solar panels, and the last one that he recommended to me was the Rich solar panels, and you can get them off of Amazon. Their net price is now up to $92. They were down at $82 a couple weeks ago. Price fluctuates on there, but they're still cheaper than the other ones, and they're better quality, and he just loves them so much better. All right. Whoa, I'm over here a little bit, a little bit longer. If anybody has any more questions, or you want to see about doing a one-on-one face-to-face, I can set up it won't be a live stream. It'll be a conference call using StreamYard, and we can talk, or you can email me about the questions, and I will answer it to the best of my abilities. My wife is slowly coming around to possibly getting one of these bigger units to have down there in California that she'll be able to bring up here when she moves. Because, right now, California's there, she's in an area covered by Pacific Gas and Electric, PG&E, and they're talking about, oh, we're going to have power outages, we're going to have brownouts. They're talking a little bit. Their internal documents are talking, oh shit. Pardon my French, but yeah. So that we're going to wrap this up tomorrow night on Gray Man Prepping. The topic tomorrow night has to do with the heat and power loss as well. It's basically it's staying cool in this heat this summer. I mean, this summer is 10 degrees hotter right now, day average, than it is normally here. And so staying cool this summer is what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. Different things you can do to stay cool, give you different options. And we're going to talk about some old school stuff as well. So that's tomorrow night, Gray Man Prepping at 10 o'clock Eastern. Thursday night on Gray Man Prepping again, the midnight run. It's going to be open chat. We're going to see wherever the chat takes us, and that's where we're going to go. And hey, Glenn, you got in here just as I'm wrapping it up. Kaylin says she's got a couple USB power fans. Well, I'm going to talk about some other power options as well tomorrow night about keeping cool. So in the meantime, stay happy no matter what life throws at you. Stay safe. Don't go out and do anything foolish. Keep adding to your preps. Water, food, medicines, skills. Skills are prep. Add to your skills and make yourself more valuable skill-wise. All right? I'll see you around. Take care.